This is Steward Leaders. I'm Eric Alexander, and this is a short reflection on leadership as stewardship.
I'm excited to introduce to you today a friend and colleague and entrepreneur and educator, Matt Bumstead. We're in his classroom here in Lubbock, and he agreed to visit with me today about stewardship. I want to ask about stewardship, your thoughts on stewardship as it relates to leadership specifically.
Okay. You know, really, as in reflecting on this question, I can't think of many terms that are better, that are more comprehensively perfect for capturing the spirit of leadership. I fall back on the quality of biblical humility as arguably the most important quality, other than just faith itself, that a leader can have. But I think stewardship really captures in it the spirit of humility. If you think about what stewardship is, or what a steward is, that entire term and concept they're laden with an understanding of tending something that is not mine. It has ownership other than mine, and I am here to serve that mission and that owner, or those owners, with my best effort. Best effort. Again, true stewardship means I am seeking to give my very best for the purposes, laid out in my role. So leadership, true leadership, biblical leadership, again, centered in Jesus Christ, is underscored by the concept, the idea that it's not about me. Okay? We're in a world throughout human history, not just our current state of affairs in our society, but certainly our current society amplifies it, that it is about me, right?
Right.
That and if you ask most people what makes a leader, they're going to think about things like hard charging, big personality,
right,
vision, but that grand image of someone who stands up and says, "Everybody get behind me." Well, what usually goes along with that image is, again, someone for whom it is all about me.
Right. And
the people, I was going to say whom I'm serving, but that's usually not even the idea. It is, you're serving me, and you do what I tell you, and you're here to do what I want, what I desire. Well, stewardship is to say, I am here. Stewardship implies a temporary nature. I have been given this opportunity to do the best I can with these resources for the sake of something that is bigger than myself, knowing that at some point it already belongs to someone else, and I'm only here, hopefully, you see the spirit that comes with it.
Right.
That it's not, look at me, look at what I will do. It is, Lord, help me. I see these people before me. I want to be a good steward of them. They have put their trust in me. They are counting on me to execute this role faithfully, to do all I can to add to the mission and see the mission succeed for all our sakes, but along with that, to bless me. See, the people who serve, who report to me in a leadership role, they've made themselves vulnerable to me, willingly vulnerable, exposed to some degree to however I might treat them. I want to be a steward in as much as I'm able in my part of their lives. I want to be a steward of their lives, of their paths, to seek to bless them, so that as we win together, we only really win together if each one is winning, if each one is succeeding. So we could do this for a long time.
We could talk a long time on this.
But the point is, I think stewardship is as good an understanding of what true leadership is, because, like I said, it automatically leads you to the place where you see, this is not about me. This is not about my whims or my personal desires, or certainly my personal agenda. This is about, with what has been entrusted to me, how do I leave this all in a better place, hopefully a much better place than I found it? How do I serve well?
That's good. Well, Matt and I intersected professionally when I was serving as a CFO of a bank where Matt was serving on the board. And so in my work now, a lot of my focus is on finance leadership. People in finance roles who are leading, that Any additional thoughts about how stewardship relates to that part of leadership?
I do. So this stewardship mindset certainly applies. We could literally slice and dice any part of the leadership role or the leadership responsibilities and talk about how stewardship applies.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's people, whether that's physical resources,
right.
time, whatever. But certainly, when you're talking about financial resources, once again, we start from that place of remembering these aren't mine, okay? These belong to someone else, whether we're thinking of the owners or any or all of the stakeholders
mm-hmm.
who are counting on us to manage these resources well. The thing about that word managing is that we can think stewardship means always play it safe, always be careful, always be conservative. Now, we always want to seek that space where we're being
right.
conservative enough,
mm-hmm.
because again, these are not our resources. We are not to gamble them and risk and lose them, so take the kind of risks that are going to put them in jeopardy of going away. They don't belong to us. We need to take care of them. But I think about the parable of the talents.
Mm-hmm.
And we think about that 5-talent person who went out and did big things,
mm-hmm.
got 5 talents back, okay? Again, this is a biblical example.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that person clearly went out there, took some risks,
right.
put some things on the line with the master's resources. The 3-talent person, same deal.
Right.
And in both cases, the master is pleased. Now,
well done, good and faithful.
absolutely. Now, clearly, you would think, well, yeah, the masters were pleased, went out and got a 100% return. That is good. But we come to the 1-talent person who was scared
mm-hmm.
and played it safe and buried it in the ground, basically, and brought it back and said,
right.
here it is, I didn't lose it. And the message there is displeasure from the master.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't read that as displeasure that he didn't go out and get 5 talents. 5 more bags of silver or gold or whatever you want to call them, 3 more, or even 1 more. Remember, he says you could have at least taken it to the bank and let me get some interest.
Mm-hmm.
He's displeased with the fact that you had these resources and you didn't go take risks, try to bring a return for me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just sit there and play it safe. God doesn't call us to play things safe. He just calls us not to play things in such a way that it's about greed and about us.
Mm-hmm.
So a financial stewardship, yes, we want to remember this is other people's money,
right.
and we want to handle it as we would want someone handling ours, okay? But at the same time, if I'm a CFO or I am in charge of the financial resources of a company, I don't need to take that and turn that into protective defensive mode.
Mm-hmm.
That is also not good stewardship. Just as, again, playing a wild risk game is not good stewardship, nor is playing it safe, tucking it away. And from a business standpoint, we know strategically that is a recipe for the end of the firm. Right? We know that strategic and financial considerations often do come into conflict with one another, and that's healthy, and that's good. Sometimes the strategy needs to win the day, and the financial needs to play into the risk side. Sometimes the financial needs to win the day, and the strategy needs to tone it down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the idea of stewardship doesn't mean fear. It doesn't mean protectiveness at all costs. We are supposed to be out there aggressively looking for a return.
Because it's about the one who entrusted.
Absolutely.
And what is that person seeking?
Absolutely.
What they've entrusted to you.
And again, the Lord didn't say to that 1-talent person, you should have gone out and got me 5, or even you should have doubled. It's just, you operated out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, God gave us a spirit of power
mm-hmm.
and a sound mind too. So, not to mention the love.
Wow. Well, Matt, thank you so much. I think we could spend a lot longer on this topic, and we may come back and talk more in the future, but thank you for sharing your rich thoughts. It's something to think about. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening to Steward Leaders.